Hello, and welcome to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three natural ones that were here last week.
All this time.
No, I forget, but just like I forget about my natural ones. In the bottom left, we have Asherford Human Ranger, played by Char.
Hi.
In the bottom middle, we have Greshy, Ironroot, Dwarf, and Druid, played by Will.
I got a natural one, I guess. I don't know. I'm just really sad now, alright?
No, you are the natural one.
That doesn't make it any better.
Embrace the feeling of being a natural one. In the bottom right, we have Gunn, Shough, Human Champion of Erastil, played by Adam.
Yeah, I'm still not sure that's a blood spider. I don't know if that's...
I could have said you were a blood spider.
Exploded into a pile of blood. It was just all over the place, Gunn. I'm pretty confident it was a blood spider.
So much blood.
It did have a lot of blood
It did.
for a spider.
It was like all blood. Right. It might have been made of blood.
As our players are alluding to, I guess I'll go and jump back into what's been happening. Last time on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers had made their way to the what is this place called? Why are the map icons not on? There we go. The Temple of the Sihedron in northwestern Zinshalast, where they had hoped to perhaps find some more information or details about the worship of Lysala, the goddess of runes that had granted or helped develop rune magic alongside Zin, the old, the first rune lord over Zin, his kingdom of Thassalon. While you were there, you, Gunn specifically, began speaking with Karzug's intonation, and you realize that he is able to spy on you as long as you are wearing Sihedron items within the city, above ground. You had a little bit of a chat with him. He attempted to convince you or talk to you about his ideals and try to pull you over to his side, but the three of you were having none of it. And after you did a cursory exploration of the temple, grabbed whatever interesting items you could, and booked it for the door, you found that you had been perhaps followed, or there was some kind of creepy red blood spider outside. The spider attacked you. After a bit, you defeated it somewhat handily, and then decided to make your way back into the tunnels beneath the city to evade Karzug's eye. Some of you have also left behind your Sihedron items. Others, I think, Gunn, you were using a Sihedron rune etched onto your armor, so you've just you've removed part of your breastplate, which has deactivated all the runes on it, as you've de-invested in the armor. And you believe that will suffice for now. Okay, so we join you as as soon as you get into one of the buildings, a spared quickly ushers you inside and down into, they lead you to a secret hatch. The three of you pop in, and they close the hatch behind you, and you quickly rush through the tunnels to make your way far away from the Temple of the Sihedron so that you're not followed. So you're currently just maneuvering your way through the tunnels. While doing so, you were talking a bit, I guess, offline about what you could do with this new knowledge, because up to this point you had been using the Sihedron runes for their very useful bonuses against item bonuses to saves. Because, as it turns out, in this world, resilient runes have not been invented yet, and you did not know this, because your characters had never tried to look for any. So, surprise. So, you have the kind of option of, it's up to you to figure out what to do about it, whether or not you try some workaround or just go without resilient runes for the time being, and take the penalties to your saves in your upcoming battle against Karzug, the wizard. So, what would you guys like to do? It is currently about, we'll call it 3:47 in the afternoon, as you guys are going into the tunnels currently, around the Temple of the Sihedron.
I just need to get someplace so I can maybe take a look at these. I don't know if we can disassemble and make use of it, but I want to get this off of my armor at least.
Yeah, there must be some way to separate the very useful defensive properties from the rune magic, from the Sihedron rune itself, which is...
I have no idea.
Maybe we can find some information in that book we found, and maybe you can just, I don't know, at least, could you transfer this off of my armor and onto a runestone so we can
sure.
study it there?
That, I mean, it'll take me a bit, but I can pull it off. That shouldn't be a problem. I just need to, I have no idea if I can break it into different parts or whatever, but if at the very least I can get whatever Karzug is using, it might just be the symbolism. If I can just make it onto something that's not a Sihedron, it might work just fine, but I haven't never looked at these. I can't believe I haven't thought to not look at these.
If we don't, my understanding of it, and I've been curious about this rune for a long time, is that the closer we get to him, the more power it will give him over us. So when we were out in the rest of the world, not too significant of a worry. Around here, he can see and spy on us. In certain areas, maybe even speak and ruin all our plans that way. If we get closer, I'm worried that he may even be able to take full control. Or, at the very least, instantly communicate our location to all of his various minions and completely lose the element of surprise. As soon as we pop our heads out of the tunnels, as long as we're underground, we seem to be safe from him here.
Let me take a look at it when we get back to... Where are we heading? The lair? The Hidden Beast lair? Wherever that was?
That seems as good a place as any, but maybe we don't need to go that far. Is there a place nearby here we could stop and rest?
You ask the spared woman who is currently leading you. She nods her head. I know of a place. I can take you there. It will only be a few minutes. And with that, she just wordlessly leads you through the maze of tunnels beneath the city to, let's call it one of these buildings here.
Maybe we
You haven't gotten too far away from the temple, but there are a couple of small buildings to the south near the cliff edge, where you can be like, there's like a. You're not going into the building proper, but there's some open chambers beneath these buildings that are fairly empty, and she leads you into one that is. Much like the one of the very first chambers you found in the underground, is decorated with very crude paintings of Lisala and the Spared. Or sorry, not Lisala, but I'm blanking on their savior's name. It starts with an M.
Mesmina?
Yes, Mesmina. Yes, thank you. Yes, depictions of Mesmina guiding the Spared through the city. And your guide bows and says, "You should be safe here. I will be nearby. Just let me know if you need anything, and I can help you get to where you need to go." And she, without even
before you go,
she halts in her footsteps and turns around. Yes.
Is there a location we could go to a little later that would have tools or workspace for repairing equipment or anything like that?
Tools and workspace, repairing equipment. She will think for a moment. As I also think. Where does she think that you would even find such things? We spared do not use such things, but perhaps the giants? We could try to find such tools for you.
That might be helpful. I'm thinking for Greshy, if you really think that we could somehow deconstruct, and we have 4 of these runes to work with, maybe we can find a place to do that.
I mean, I've only got the one. I left the... You do know that Phelan's is gigantic, right?
Well, so much the better to investigate it.
I mean, I just didn't bring it with us. We were taken off.
But
there was a giant blood spider.
What?
Then we left.
Well, but that was outside.
Right, I left it inside. I threw it off of him when I started thinking that might be what was causing this.
I
So-
threw mine across the church. I
What?
don't even know where it landed.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Look, I've got mine, I've got yours. We can start working with those.
All right. Maybe I should go back and...
Did you leave something behind? The spared... actually, if you're not speaking in common... Or if you're speaking in common, she wouldn't be able to understand you.
We would be speaking in common, I imagine.
Yeah, she would just have
probably
wandered off then. She's standing over by the door.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could go back for them. I'm not saying we have to leave them. If you want to let me tinker with them, I'm happy to. I'm not carrying those things around willy-nilly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're safe carrying them as long as we don't wear them. That's...
I hope so, at least. Well, are we staying here? Are we gonna go try and find this workshop?
Well...
I can make do without a workshop. I'll figure it out. I've got some supplies and tools.
Fair enough. I was just thinking that if we were gonna... We have to read the book, and we have to work on these runes before I'm comfortable. The rune thing, before I'm comfortable going back out again, I'd like to at least have that transferred off, because I don't think I can be very effective if I can't wear my armor.
The problem is it will take me quite a while to transfer runes. Schranzapalm is a lot faster at that than I am. If we're just getting him onto a runestone, if we want to send it to him and pay him for it, that'd probably be the fastest way to do it.
That's fair. We probably should do that.
Yeah, I can play with the runestones once I get them back, but it'll still it would take me hours. He can do it in 10 minutes, I think. He's real quick. Should learn about that from him sometime, how he does that.
And I'm also curious about this fellow who threw the spear. I think I should ask about him and find out if the spared know him by name, if he's one of them, or if he's been in this area operating. Perhaps he's like us and is here attempting to undermine the the minions of Karzug? Perhaps he works for Karzug.
I assume he works for Karzug, but then again, I'm assuming anyone we meet here that aren't the spared at this point are working for Karzug, so...
If he works for Karzug, then I don't see any reason to go to the arena and meet with him.
Not right away, at least. I wouldn't mind scouting out and getting more information about what's going on, what we're dealing with. We need to figure out what the Giants are up to, if they're up to anything. What the Lami are up to, if they're up to anything. Would be nice to assess their defenses as well.
My understanding of their force composition that we've encountered so far is that the Lamia are the strategists, are the planners, and that the Giants are sort of the foot soldiers in the army for the most part. We have found a couple of Giants who are actually in Karzug's cult, Mokmurian and his underling, the underling who was more interested in just killing and skinning people than...
Right, whatever his name was.
I forgot about him.
I'd rather not remember him. He can go to hell if he's not there already.
But the rest of the Giants were either looking for Mokmurian to raise their people up to a new glory, or were just keen to invade the human lands.
But those were cloud giants. Don't know if we dealt with them. At least they were
true.
Giants we hadn't dealt with before that I recall, but more to that then, and this is more what I want to find out. What are they in this for? Like, are they truly in this because they want to just invade and take over lands? Or is this more of a situation where they're being instructed from above and they're just obeying orders, and they might be willing to obey other orders if given the correct instructions?
Yeah, what were they offered, maybe?
And is there a counter offer or some other means of convincing them that this is a bad way to do? I don't think we can reason with the Lamia, but I'm not planning to. They can all die.
Agreed. The Lamia...
Well, most of them at least.
The Lamia seem to either be involved with this via Lamashtu or in the quest to gain the power of sin magic. As we've seen from Lucretia and her sisters. That's what their letters indicate. That's what they're... So I don't think we'll be dissuading them.
No.
But my opinion is that if we can get rid of them, chase them off or slay enough of them, that would shake the Giants' faith in their invulnerability, in their power of their force, enough to give us an advantage when attempting to negotiate with them.
That's a big if. Especially since it depends on what they're in this for. Again, if they're in this because they truly believe in Karzug, we're just pissing them off further. Which is fine. We're probably going to have to deal with them regardless anyway, but it might... I think taking a look to see what's going on first will be of benefit. And then probably that way when we deal with the Lamia, we know what the repercussions are going to be a bit better.
Could be. And maybe we can find a workspace isolated enough or abandoned or otherwise a place we can sneak into, steal some tools.
Could be useful.
Tools won't be too big. Hopefully the
true.
tools won't be giant-sized tools.
That's a fair
Giant
point.
tools might
That'll be a
be
bit
useful.
difficult to drag around. Well, are we going back for these amulets? We should keep moving before too long.
We should
I think
probably grab them if they're important. If we
I
think
think
we
if
can
we're going to
separate
grab them, we should grab them now.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna run back and grab, or maybe we can just
Maybe
ask
we
the
can
spirit to grab them real quick. Somebody could just sneak in.
Maybe Asher can sneak in, or the spared. Yeah, we could
one
ask
of
the
them's
spared if
big.
there's no one there to go in and get those and retrieve those things. Wrap them up in something so they don't have to touch it directly.
That'd be ideal. I don't have. I'll just give him my
And
bedroll blanket or something.
if
My
there
silk
is-
sheets.
If there is anything now guarding that facility, then we can leave it, I suppose.
Well,
If
that's
we get,
information, isn't it? If somebody's guarding it already.
yeah, if we get back there sooner, the sooner we get there, the less likely it is that we'll be interfered with. So,
Well, okay. What was the spared's name? We didn't ask her name, I don't think.
Are you going to ask her?
we didn't.
I was asking. That's me asking her name.
So you asked her by looking at her and saying, "What is the spared's name?"
Yes. Look, I don't speak Thessalonian
What
perfectly.
is this spirit's
It's this weird
name?
translation thing where I've got it coming through my head in different languages at the same time.
My name. I'm honored that the saviors would ask my name. I am Shabri. It is an honor to assist you in any way I can.
Well, if you would be so kind, you know that place we came from with the temple to La Sala. Would you go back there and grab some medallions that are lying on the floor? One's gonna be big, like a dinner plate, big old family-sized dinner plate sort of thing. Might be a bit heavy, actually. Should one of us go with her?
If
I
you-
think one of us should go with her. I will go with her.
I do not know if I could do this myself, but I can ask the others to.
Thanks, Asher.
But if
Perhaps
you
we shouldn't get all the spared killed.
Let's not. Let's just go grab it ourselves. We'll just be right
I'll
back.
just get it.
Would you,
Real grim.
Shabri, would you lead us back real quick to this temple that we just left so we can grab our things that we left behind so we can leave again?
of course.
She excitedly stands up to her full height. She's just like very hunched over, and she just quickly starts moving out of the chamber, expecting that you're following.
I
All right,
will.
I guess we're getting going.
Follow.
Here we go.
Okay, so you guys go back to the temple. Again, you exit the tunnels from a building to the south of the temple, and you can see across the street that the street is relatively open. Just snow has fallen. The front door, I believe, is still.
Oh, the
Oh.
rope. Could grab the rope as well. We left it tied under the door.
Yes, you did leave it
From
tied
the-
under the door.
From the outside, you could just grab it. Everybody left something behind.
That rope was very important to us. We needed that.
We'll need it
Well, I
later.
went back for it.
It's the special run. It's twice as long as normal, and it.
It's a secret
Strong
tool that will
as well.
help us later.
Yes.
Watch this comes in clutch in the final battle, the rope.
Actually, I think you left one of the two doors is actually open and the other is closed. But from what you can tell, it doesn't look like anything or anyone is nearby. What do you guys do?
Are we going?
I'll make double sure nobody is nearby, I think. I'll
Active perception check.
Yeah, actively perceive the situation. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
Give me
I'll
a-
click on
Give me a blind perception.
it. Ooh.
Roll that blink die.
Blind GM roll. Let's go. There it goes. I have no idea what it is.
Beautiful. Okay. You you kind of like peek out of the building, check corners, check the sky, or like check, you're like looking above the temple. You glance up in the sky and you see a big shadow flying, or like that's like kind of passing over some of the buildings to your right or to the east. At first you think it's a cloud, but you like kind of squint and look up and you can see that through the flurry of snow is the form of a massive blue dragon flying overhead.
Ooh. Watch out, the dragon's up there.
Let me get back to this map.
Grand.
The dragon flies. It's kind of
Well, those are
flying
small.
along this path. I don't know if you can see my ruler at all.
We can see
It's
it.
flying pretty quickly over the temple, and if you stay and watch, it lands on this building behind, a few blocks away from the temple. This one here, and kind of goes out of view. You can only see that it's landed on this building because this whole building is like up on a raised hill.
But then it almost kind of ducks out away or something and seems to disappear from view.
Yeah, Asher, you can't. It clearly lands on the building and then kind of disappears from sight. It looks like it's lowering its head, but you can't tell where it's gone.
Maybe there's a
Goes.
cave back there.
Well, we were looking for Glorifex's lair at some point, weren't we?
Yeah,
We didn't know where it was.
we would
Think-
like to find it.
I'd be
I think we know where it is. Well, Asher knows where it is.
good for me. I want to go towards the dragon. That's exactly what I would like to do.
Uh,
Murdering
meantime,
sometimes.
I know.
You think we're okay, though?
Yeah, other than that, I don't think there's anything I saw.
All right, we're sprinting. Let's go.
Skitter, skitter.
Okay, you're just openly running across the street. Okay. You.
all right. I'm not gonna let
Here we
Greshy go on
go.
alone.
All right. The three of you run across the street. And you make it to the temple, and like quickly dart inside into the shadows, tracking Snow along with you. What do you do?
Grab the rope.
Okay.
Gonna shove the medallion into one of my bags,
I
the
will
big one.
search for the medallion because I threw it. Did not really look where it went.
Yeah, give me a perception check. You can open roll that.
It's a 37.
37. Okay, so with 10 minutes of searching, you are able to find the medallion. It is kind of wedged itself between two pieces of rubble. And you...
Pick it up like it's gross.
All right. The rest of you are kind of I guess standing around awkwardly,
Here,
keeping an eye out
gentlemen,
for
this
trouble.
bag. I'll hold the
Mm-hmm.
I'll hold the bag of holding open for.
We should
After
definitely leave
aggression.
out to a different direction than we just
I'll
ran in.
drop it in.
So I'll shove it into the bag that he's holding open, and we have the open window we went out originally. Those open windows.
I mean, all the windows are open.
Oh, that's right. They're all open at this point, so we can just go
They're
out to different
They're
directions.
shattered.
I would say let's go exactly back the way we just came in.
Really?
No one will expect it.
Nobody saw us come in that way. So it seems.
Okay. You ready?
We're just gonna
Mhm.
run. If there's anything on the other side, just run past it.
All right. I was gonna say, no, it works once. I'm not sure it works twice, but I'm willing to gamble on it.
I'll look out the door.
Just double check in.
I'll have a peek.
Okay, go ahead and give me another secret perception check. Or a blind perception.
Ooh. There it goes. Good luck.
I see what's happened. One sec. My
I see
audio
what's
input
happening
is not
here.
routed to the right cable. There we go. What is the total? Total is that number. Okay, yeah, you watch the streets. You spot two giants. They're both like massively tall. In fact, they look much bigger than a standard stone giant. Their skin is like all black, almost like obsidian, and all over their skin are these massive like golden runes etched like directly into their skin. The two of them are stomping through the streets. Where they are down the road to the east. They seem to be walking from one of these buildings nearby and are making their way south along the road this way. Do you like just wait for them to go past, or do you do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the others from running out if they had planned on doing it, and I say there's giants and just wait. Looks like they're walking away.
Just be patient then.
You are patient, and you wait out the 10 minutes for them to get fully out of sight, and it seems like the coast is clear now.
Coast looks clear.
Break for it.
Sprint. We go.
Yeah.
You sprint back to you sprint back to the tunnel entrance that you were at before. You are not spotted so far as you think, and you dart inside. The Shabri is still there, waiting for you. You didn't tell her to leave otherwise, and she will usher you back into the tunnels, and yeah, you've got your items back.
All right. Well, that's good. At least we can work with those two. Just need to find workshop. Maybe would be useful, but.
Quick note. If you guys can't see these little icons on the map,
I cannot on mine. No.
Yeah, so there should be.
I can't.
One of the buttons on the left is called journal notes. Click on that, and then. I think it's the
Look at that.
The second icon from the top.
I just clicked on
should
all
be,
the icons appeared.
Yes, but if you click away from that mode, they'll all go away. So what you want to do is you want to click the little pin icon. I think it's the second one, and that'll toggle map notes display, and that'll keep them always on. So once that's blue, you can switch back to player select, and now you'll be able to see them. So you should be able to hover over entries of places that you're aware of, and double click them to get a little bit of info.
Let's put a mark over here. Glorifex layer question mark?
On it. There you go. Yes, Foundry is so nice. It took me a while to actually figure out how this works, but yay. So, you've got a big old map of places, and I tried to fill in a brief sentence or two about what you've heard from the spared already about each location. But obviously you can try to get more details from them, or like find specific ones that know something, or you can go there yourself to find out.
So,
all right, where do you guys want to go?
We haven't failed any quest, at least.
It sounds like our plans are to observe the giants' camps, read the book, ask about what was his name? The spear fellow.
Mm-hmm.
Gamagan. And transfer the runes off. So we could each take up one of those.
I mean, I'll handle the runes, I suppose.
If you were going to handle the reconnaissance, probably Asher would be the best
Yes.
to scout the giant encampments.
You would do good at that, aye?
I can try reading the book using the using the amulet of comprehend languages that we got from the Wrath Lady.
That works.
Mm.
You could also, since you were looking to ask about Gamagan, we can ask about different factions in the area from the Spared themselves. Maybe they know who Gamagan is or who that person works for, or
Mm-hmm.
if they're part of a different faction, what they're all about, if they're on our side, or probably not, but
yeah,
like that. Well, let's get back to, again, did we determine if there was a laboratory or workshop that would suffice, or do we need to just head back to like the lair or
like
something?
a negative.
Yeah, she does not know of one specifically. You could have the Spared go search for something specific to your needs, but obviously that would take some time for them to go find and report back to you.
I think I can make do without. If
How
they
about
find
we-
something by chance, that'd be great, but
How about we ask them to do that because they can do something while we are all doing our own things.
Yeah, they can do many somethings. They're currently looking for. I believe they told you earlier that they remember there's like some colloquial tales of like folklore amongst their people of some kind of secret route to the summit, or from the summit rather, that they're having some people search for. But there's quite a lot of Spared, so they can obviously do multiple things at once. So if you want them to look for a building, you can just tell her, and she'll spread the news to other Spared to go hunting.
again, if you can find a workshop of some sort, because I may need it for other purposes later, it'd be useful, but...
Okay.
If the group of you stay here for a few moments, I'll be right back then, and I'll tell the others.
And so she leaves you behind in whatever random tunnel branch that you're in, surrounded by tunnel branches in all directions. And it only takes her 5 minutes to dart off and apparently say what she needs to say to someone else in return. But she is back.
All right, I'm ready. Where do you need to go?
I just need a place to sit down for a bit and work. Ideally, again, a workshop, but again, it doesn't sound like we have one. So just a large area so I can spread out a bit. Gunn probably wants to be comfortable, so chair someplace.
And then once we're there, let's go back where there are more Spared so that we can find someone to be a guide for Asher.
Has everyone moved into the hidden beast lair at this point?
They said that you guys could use it in however long you want, since it's like pretty out of the way and pretty deep underground. So they're leaving it to you for the time being.
It's not, I mean, great real estate, I suppose.
Do you want to go there?
Spared hang out then? Can we go hang out with them?
I'm trying to find where that was.
It's not the Spolarium, is it? No.
The Spared do not have a centralized location that they live. They're very, like, they spread out over the city and kind of congregate at random times in random places.
Where was
if you would
the
like them to
Spared?
congregate, you can
It's
collect them
way to the
somewhere.
south.
Oh yeah,
But you
totally.
need to ask them to do so.
It doesn't seem like that's the kind of people that they are, so if that's not them, then that's not them. Then I guess we're heading back to Hidden Beast Lair. Well, that's in the direction of the Giants camp, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So if
So-
we're scouting the Giants camp, then we have to kind of go that way anyway.
So we'll do that. We'll head back there. That's enough room, and it's reasonably safe, I think. Far enough down that we shouldn't be out of the way.
Okay. And she nods and will start leading you over to the Hidden Beast Lair, which it does take some time to cross that much city. That is like 17,000 feet.
A little over 3 miles.
A little over
In a
3
straight line.
miles.
It takes like an hour. It's a good
An
walk.
hour. Yeah.
Exercise.
Brisk
Oops, I did
jog.
2 hours.
I would say, I was going to say 2 hours actually seems a bit more reasonable for winding and twisting and
Yeah.
such. Maybe hour and a half.
We'll
somewhere
call it,
in there.
yeah, like 45 minutes or so. It's 6:17 p.m. by the time you
Wow,
get
we're
back
going
to.
fast.
Yeah, their tunnels
I'm
work
fast.
with
Well-
some magic.
Oh
And
no,
she's
I
very
think my long
fast.
strider ran out.
I carried
did your-
Greshy through the tunnels.
Where'd the party icon go? Did you guys move
I
on?
don't know. Where'd you put us?
I haven't touched
It has disappeared.
party.
You have destroyed us. We were
Bye.
murdered.
Maybe I've yeeted you into oblivion.
Apparently. Well, there,
Oh, there
I
you
see
are.
us.
I see.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, we were moving along that path just very slowly, I think.
Ah, okay. Well, you're here now. You've made it to the
Fabulous.
Hidden Beast Slayer. I didn't want you to hide under there. Now I can't grab you. There we go. Okay, you're at the Hidden Beast Slayer. You've returned. The chamber is silent. There are actually there are a couple of spared here. They are cleaning the place. They seem to be like wiping down the surfaces for blood. They're like removing some of the rubble. They're dusting off other surfaces. And they're elated when you return.
Oh, the Saviors, you're here! Welcome back. We took it upon ourselves to make this place nice for your return.
Oh,
Very kind of you.
that is. Thank you, I think.
We'll get out of your hair. If you need anything from us, let us know. Morgiv said to let you know that we're still looking for the location of the hidden path to the summit.
Gold.
Gold?
I am going to need gold for crafting purposes. I've only got so much, and we're going to need to transfer some runes about, and I don't know the
how
cost
much
of those.
gold do you need?
It's 10% the cost of the rune itself in transfer material.
I have some.
So, I mean, I was going to ask if they had some spare. I don't think it's going to be too much, but I'm starting to run a bit skint.
Do they need
It'll take you a moment to explain exactly what gold is to them. They obviously don't use it. But upon explanation, they realize what you're talking about. And one of them says,
like the surface of the high road. Yes, we could go collect some for you. How much
Sure.
do you need?
Right, the road is made of gold.
That's true.
That's right.
This is going to sound like a lot. I promise I'm not being greedy. If each one of those coins or what have you is made out is about 1-to-1 ratio, I need about 400 of those coins. Thereabouts.
Okay, we'll get on it.
and all four of them dart out of the tunnel in a direction.
Great. Well, they'll get that to pay somebody back if we can put some of those materials in the chest. Greshy will start to pull out chest to conversion and place it down, because we're going to need some materials to actually do the crafting with.
I thought we were going to do Srenzelton for this.
You're right. Well,
Oops. There they go.
Actually, we need to pay him, so we just need to send him the money then. Even better. We still have to pay for the transfer, but we'll just pay him the transfer instead of making me do it. Much better. We'll still need money for other purposes. Anyway, so I think it's 344 gold pieces to transfer those runes off of our armors each.
Wait, did anybody else have them on the armor? I thought it was
Just-
just Gunn.
Just the two.
Oh
of
no,
us.
Greshy did. Greshy had
Oh,
his on
Greshy
his
had it on the
snakeskin.
snake skin, right.
On mine. 'Cause I didn't like it.
And we'll also want another 50 gold, I think, for seeing if we can buy another scroll on top of
As
that.
usual. I have some.
I'm looking at 738 is what the cost is
I don't-
coming to so
I
far.
don't quite have.
I have 170 something, 179.
I have 320, I think. So
So
still
does
not
somebody have
enough.
239 or so? 240?
Of gold?
Aye.
Yeah, I have that.
All right. Well, we'll all spend all of our gold to fix this
Not
problem.
all of mine.
Hey,
Wait,
Ash
how
has got
much?
gold.
How much did you need?
Number 239 was what it calculated out to.
39.
So Gunn pays what he can. I'm going to pay the 179 that I've got. God, it's 179. Ugh. How am I broke at this level? I have so much money. It's all in items.
You've converted your wealth.
See, I'm investing. That's why we got to do real estate, so we can invest and grow that wealth.
Need to work on your asset management. Diversify your
Need to-
portfolio.
Need to be more fluid.
It's all in very, very. What's the opposite of liquid assets? Solid assets.
I guess. I don't know, actually. I don't know
It's all-
about investing.
You've got it all wrapped up in real estate in Magnamar, real estate in Sandpoint, consumables and items that are on your person.
It's mostly the items on my person at this point.
There it goes.
All right, so we'll pack all of that up into a box or bag. We've got a bag, spare bag someplace, and we will read the scroll and send that off to Saranzelplum to ask him to transfer those off.
And you didn't need the money from the spared
I
yet?
would like to be paid back a little bit, but
Okay.
it's not immediate that we need it. So
Okay.
we can
I mean,
do it
they're
now
off
and
doing
get
their
paid
thing,
back.
but I'm just okay. Cool. It'll
do
take them
that
some time
now.
to go get it. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Go ahead and perform the ritual.
All right.
Stranzelplum.
Okay. You cast the spell, activating the scroll. The scroll lights up and begins to do its like magical burning that it would normally do, and you watch the bag start to phase.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
But it fizzles out. The bag rematerializes
it.
before it can warp.
I knew it. Oh.
The scroll is kind of like
Can
25% burned, but it should still function.
Well,
Shite.
did we
Can
each
you,
have
like-
one, Greshy? Did you have one and I had one?
I did have an extra, so we have a spare in case there's something wrong with this one, but still. Shite.
did we ever figure out what was like happening with this? Or we
I mean, can I channel back and try and access what memories I have from my Wrath rune and see if there's anything that would bring me information about Zinshalast and why this area specifically seems to be so funky? Is it this region of the world? Is it specifically city, or is it being underground?
It could be the underground thing. Since
It
that's
might be the
also
underground thing because
interfering
we only tried it down here. I didn't try it up above, but it could be up above too, and I don't know where it all affects.
how
So
did your
Okay.
status work above ground?
actually, that's also I could add that into me trying to do this recall knowledge, is using that information on top of me trying to delve back to see if I can start
Okay.
to reconcile what's going on.
Sure. Give me a Thessalonian lore check.
All right, can we do this? Is it shift to do this secret? Because this is a secret roll. Question mark dice.
Okay. So you close your eyes, like squint really hard, or like close your eyes really hard, scrunch up your face, trying to think back to any kind of knowledge that you might have about what's going on here. And you get a brief flash of standing in front of a splendid golden building. To your flanked on either side of you are friends, or more likely co-conspirators. You're speaking in hushed tones in the shadows of this splendiferous building, and one of your compatriots says, "That Karzug, he's done something to the city." Another one speaks. Yes, it seems that he's perhaps struck in a deal with Belimarius. Belimarius and Karzug working together? Surely not, another one says. The third, the fourth person in your retinue shakes their head. No, of course not. Karzug would never do such a thing. He distrusts her as much as Our Lady does. No, the real source of these protections is, and the vision fades before you are able to find out.
Ow. Okay. That didn't help quite so much, so...
But the result of this is that you have some understanding that both conjuration, or not conjuration specifically, but teleportation effects and divination effects are both somehow limited in Zinshalast.
Great.
You don't know exactly what the parameters are around that or exactly what is causing it. But you do have some understanding that it is teleportation and divination.
Well, then I would expect not to be able to use Franzel Palm services for the rest of the time that we're here.
Makes sense.
Unless we want to leave, I suppose we could just leave town. Seems like a
Sending
lot.
a divination, or is it something else?
I believe it's divination.
Makes sense.
I mean, you could try it. The thing is that it doesn't not work. It just doesn't work correctly or reliably. Like, with the status, I was kind of sort of feeling you, but it wasn't like how I'd expect to be able to understand what was going on with you, and it wasn't fully there. It's fuzzy. So it's kind of sort of but not truly working, and I don't know if your sending would do the same, but you could try it.
So,
I'll wait.
my clairaudience and clairvoyance might not work very well here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be an issue.
We could still try it.
Could.
You're also fairly sneaky. I mean, probably the most sneaky among us. Guessing.
Turn into a little bug.
With the least agenda.
What is your stealth, by the way?
What
I
is
got-
myself? That's a
I'm
good
at
question.
24.
Oh, whoa. 22. Mine's actually not as good as you.
Really? Are you not trained?
I am just trained, in fact, in stealth.
Where's my extra coming from? Anyway.
How,
Oh, it's the cloak. Duh.
like, how the heck am I an expert in diplomacy? It's because I read that book.
Oh, ignore that.
It was because you read that book.
I was like, what the heck? I don't use that at all.
That book will do it. Well, I guess I have to do this then, don't I? Okay. Transferring a rune, it takes a day baseline. So when we did apply Hasty Crafter to it, does it just reduce it to the 4 hours at Master still, or?
I guess there's no check usually involved in transferring your rune,
it's
is
a
there?
no,
Or
it's
is
a crafting check.
there? Okay.
It's just
Yeah,
the DC
it's
of the
the-
rune being transferred.
Yeah, it's the same deal. You can reduce it as much as you could with any other crafting check.
Well, it's more that if since reducing a 4-day craft to a 4-hour craft at master level is a certain thing, what would the equivalent be for taking a 1-day craft down?
Oh, I see.
Would that be like 2 hours? Would it still be 4 hours?
How did I word Hasty Crafter?
4 days to 4 hours. 1 day to 1 hour?
Yeah, is it 1 day to 1 hour is the normal step?
No.
Sorry, for Hasty
4
Crafter.
days. It's 4 days, then it's like 2 days if you're trained, 1 day if you're expert, 4 hours if you're master, and 1 hour if you're legendary. With
see.
increasing DCs for each of those.
Okay, just as... Sorry, let me look at it. I haven't thought about this. This specific case. Wait, I have it in Foundry. What am I looking elsewhere for?
The easiest thing to do is just use the same fraction.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Before I assume,
it's
I just wanna make
basically
sure that's right.
halving it each time. So, yeah, it's just
Other than that,
every time you half it, it reduces it by 2, and minimum you can go or by it increases the DC by 2 for each time you half it.
It doubles the DC by each time, but that's still fine.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Increase the DC by
It doubles the DC
Yeah.
increase, I should say, by each time.
Yes.
Not the DC itself.
Correct.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I
yes.
misspoke.
Yeah. So that is what it does.
2, 4, 8, 16.
yikes. Okay.
It's a pretty sizable increase, but it's worth it. Or at least it's worth it to do master most of the time. So in this case,
The
that means
8
it
is-
would take
sorry, the-
1 hour.
The 24, sorry, the single day already counts. That is 8 hours basically. So your first
Right.
reduction would go down to 4, etc.
4, 2, 1, etc. So
Yes.
that means then I can take 1 hour to try and swap the runes out, or swap it over to the runestone, I think. I still need the materials, so I still need to start melting those down. That's going to take me about an hour. So maybe story time with Asher, unless Asher wants to go, or unless we want to do the reading first.
If Asher goes to do the reconnaissance and I do the reading, is that
Right. No,
fine?
I misspoke. What I meant was, if we can either go to Asher exploring right now, or we could do
I
Gunn
see.
reading.
We're going to do those things one at a time
Because-
of the nature of
Yeah,
Pathfinder.
and Greshy's just sitting back, waiting and helping out where he can. So
we only have one DM.
yes.
Well, I
Jason,
shall
tell us the whole
split
story
into
individually
3
at the same
forms.
time.
I'll alternate my words, and it's up to you to piece out who I'm talking to.
Oh, if you could do that.
Excellent.
And when at the same, but when after.
I'm not that skilled.
There was a book written once where it was just one sentence and it never had any punctuation. Just the whole thing was just no way of telling where actual sentences stopped and started. Apparently, people got pissed off, so on a reprint, he put a bunch of punctuation at the end so they could add it in wherever they liked.
Perfect. That sounds great, actually. Okay. So Greshy, you're just chilling while you put some currency in the box to make some components.
If Gunn needs any assistance, I'm happy to help out, but mostly I'm just going to sit here and do my thing while he works on his stuff.
Well, if Asher could hand me that wand of comprehend languages in the form of a book, the tome of comprehend languages,
Oh no, it was the
medallion. It was on
Yes.
I remember that.
It's an amulet. It's basically a wand, but it's like a little pouch.
yes.
But she was wearing it on her belt instead of around her neck.
Yeah.
Right, when we
yes.
took it off of her.
Yes.
So now
okay.
Asher's got the amulet that he just.
Yeah.
I guess
Which
he.
I wasn't sent the amulet. So you still have the amulet
So yes, you still have it on you.
in spirit.
Okay.
So Asher gives it to you.
There you go. It's back with you now.
Right.
Because I don't have any info on it. I don't even know how it works.
I'll go ahead and use that. Is it the 4th level one or the 2nd level one?
I can look at your character sheet and tell you that
fair
answer. It is a Talisman of Comprehend Language level 2, so it's the 2nd level.
Yeah, that's what. So it's one target,
That's
which
fine.
means I'll go ahead and use it to start reading this book.
Okay. So you've got the tome that you found in the Temple of the Sihedron that was written in some kind of angular language. Meanwhile, Asher, you are doing what?
I guess I'm going to go spy on people with my great spying abilities.
Hopefully.
Yes. It would be very bad if I didn't have good spying abilities. There I go.
So I'm just moving you over here so that you can separate from the group. Where are you going to go?
So I'm going to the giant encampment, right? Everyone. Is that where I'm going, or did you want me to go somewhere else?
As far as scouting, that seems probably the closest place where you're at right now.
Cool. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
All right. So
look at this.
You start to leave the chamber, and one of the spared immediately comes over and do you need any help navigating the tunnels?
Yes, I don't know how to get there from here. That would be very helpful.
Yes, I can take you there. There being...
the giant encampment would be great.
Oh, of course. Yes, follow me. And he will lead you through the tunnels. And we'll go and start with Asher for reasons. Okay. In that case, give me a quick little shake to do... Can I do that? And then copy Asher over.
I'll just watch over here on stream.
Okay. So Asher, the spared leads you to another kind of hollowed out building. He takes you up to the main floor and carefully opens the door very, very silently. Peeks out in his still kind of camouflaged form. You can barely see him, and then he lets the door sit open a bit, lets it just kind of gently swing open for you to step out, and whispers, "I'll be right here if you need me."
Oh, thank you. And I'll step out quietly.
Okay. You step out of the building and you can see up ahead of you is a massive... so there's basically a big section of the city that has kind of a circular section of the city where the buildings seem to have been cleared out and all the rubble removed. It's been kind of just flat open patch where there are a large number of very massive tents strewn about. It looks like basically a huge tent city. And you can see all throughout the collection of tents, there are a number of different types of giants. You spot stone giants, hill giants, and frost giants specifically. They're not moving about in any kind of, aggressive fashion. They all seem to be, they look actually relatively relaxed. Many of them are kind of walking sort of slowly from place to place. You can hear the occasional loud kind of booming voice, and they all have very booming voices that carry quite a bit in this open space and almost echo. And so let me go ahead and just put you up in the corner of the map, and maybe you can see. I don't know.
There's one problem.
Yeah.
That I just considered. I don't understand Yotun. So I can only visually see what's happening here. Good for me. Did not think maybe the amulet would be good for this.
Well, you arrive. You kind of sneak forward a bit so you can get beside some rocks and get a better view, and that's when you kind of realize that they're all speaking in tongues that you don't understand.
Oh, Greshy would know. Well, you know, I'm going to... It's not going to be too useful to listen. I'm going to just turn into a small sparrow bird. And hopefully small and kind of like not super in the sky will give me like a nice view of what's happening as I like quietly fly through.
Okay. So yeah, you turn into this is animal form into a pest form for like a tiny bird.
Yeah, tiny bird.
Okay. Yeah, you become a small. What kind of bird did you say?
Like a sparrow.
Oh, sparrow. Okay.
Bird.
I thought you said barrow. I was like, what's a barrow bird?
Oh.
I was like frantically googling.
That sounds like a bird.
It sounds like it could be.
I'm just searching
okay.
for barrow bird. Oh.
I see a bower bird, which is like some kind of blackbird.
All about birds. Barrow's golden eyes are striking ducks.
What?
They're a really weird-looking duck.
Okay, you do not become a weird-looking duck. You instead become an innocuous-looking sparrow. And yeah, you can hop up onto one of the rocks and I guess you're using pest form.
Get out of here. Yes.
And spell effect pest form to make you tiny.
All its unbonuses. Oh, look at how small I am.
You're very tiny.
Oh, why is this on? Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, there's a new I added another add-on to try. It's Drag Ruler. It shows you your 3 actions. So if you draw just a movement
so
line,
get to like here.
Yeah, with 30 feet of movement, that's how far you can move across your 3 actions, and then red is beyond your action limit.
That's neat.
Well, that's nice. I like that.
Okay, but yeah, so you turn into a bird. You've got however long that lasts.
Forever, because I'm flying, and I have my special. No, wait, not today.
You can only do that once per day.
An hour.
Okay.
Yeah, an hour. I believe is pest form.
I believe so as well.
For it. Oh, shit. It's not a minute. I know that.
It might be
used to
10 minutes.
10 minutes, but I think I somehow thought it became an hour if you cast it. Maybe that's a lie.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think by default pest form is 10 minutes. Yeah, so it's 10 minutes by
Somehow I
default.
can't find it on my sheet.
That's correct.
Right. I get an hour from. Something is an hour.
I don't think it was any of your.
Oh, I know what an
feats.
hour. It's form control.
Ah, okay. Yeah, do you have that?
Thing gives it. Yes, I do have that.
Form control, if all shapes level is 2 levels lower than your minimum, then you rain transform for an hour. Yep.
Mhm.
Cool.
That's where I was getting an hour from. Do you have form control? Do. We did it.
All right.
We solved the problem. All right, so an hour.
Okay, I don't know how to change the effect on you to an hour, so it'll probably go away as soon as maybe I can change it here. Oh, no, I got it. Hour. 1 hour. Cool. There we go.
Oh, this is very big.
Oh,
I'm very small on the big map.
Yes, it is a massive map. So if you take flight, you can see over this massive giant encampment. There are giants, just strewn about. I'm not going to put every giant on here, but I can put some giants around, I suppose. Frost giants, some stone giants, some hill giants, just kind of scattered around. You can kind of fly wherever you want to go. or tell me what you're looking for if you're looking for anything. Tiny Asher.
Here I go. Wee.
Have we determined if Asher is particularly insightful?
Yeah,
Can he read the situation on the ground without hearing, understand what they're saying?
yeah.
Depends on
It
his
looks like
perception
everyone's
checks.
relaxed. So as I fly around, should I just start making perception checks, like looking for? I mean, for the most part, it seems like people are relaxed, but like anything, like if they're building something or setting up for something, or if they have weapons, or if they have, I guess, tools I can look for.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a perception check for sense motive.
A hidden one? Would you like?
Yes, a hidden one, please.
There we go.
And you can use hero points or use points if you wish, but you'll have multiple of these. So it's up to you. Just tell me when you're rolling, and I can factor that in. Okay, so for your first check, you're flying around. We'll make that 10 minutes. Yeah, I'll let you do a check every 10 minutes for like an assessment. I think I didn't move the time yet, so I think it's like, we'll call it that much time to get here, and then the first 10 minutes to start flying around. So it's already getting a little bit dark, but you can still see around a lot of the fires. The giants seem to be, yeah, like I said, they're relatively relaxed. Or actually, you see a lot of them seem to be a bit winded, like they're very tired, exhausted. You've noticed this a bit in yourself as well. The amount of walking you guys have been doing is, you've needed to stop for breaks a little bit more often than usual. And you realize that this is probably due to the extreme elevation. That these giants are probably not from this area, and are still acclimating themselves to the region. So that's kind of what you're able to get out of this first 10 minutes of looking around, that a lot of them seem relatively tired and are walking relatively slowly. They seem to be breathing kind of heavily, that sort of thing, kind of universally amongst the giants that you see. You can, if you wish, you can do another perception check for another 10 minutes.
I've lost Asher, but I haven't lost my perception check.
Where is Asher?
I'll do that.
Asher is very tiny. He's somewhere.
Just flying him around. I think this is the general area I've left him in. Where did he go?
He's so small. He's over here. I found him.
Oh, there he is.
Okay,
Over
second check. Sorry.
On this campfire.
It's funny to move him around. I've now lost it. But in any case, second check. So you're looking around, watching their movements some more. You watch as a group of giants come from the north. A few of them with scars, or like clear, obvious wounds on their persons. They look like slash marks, largely on their backs. They look a bit kind of defeated, or sad. They're hunched over a bit. These are stone giants specifically, and you can see that the wounds seem like relatively fresh, and there's still a little bit of, it's dried and almost frosted over even, but looks they do look like fresh wounds. They're big slash marks too, like big gashes in their backs. The two of them are carrying, they both have like pretty big clubs in their hands, and are dragging behind them two large sacks. and you watch as they reach the encampment from the northern side, somewhere around here, and start shuffling towards their tents. They catch your eye because there's something off about them. Like, they seem a bit more shifty than the other giants, and are like checking back behind them, watching their trail, and seemingly like afraid of something. The two of them go into one of the slightly larger tents over here, where they disappear from sight, from the air. That's what you get out of that next 10 minutes. That was like the most interesting thing you saw.
Would I be able to think about... I guess maybe I didn't see it close enough, but like what kind of weapon may have made the slash marks on the backs?
You could try a medicine check to recall knowledge, or if you've got some other skill that you think would be more appropriate for identifying weapons, like maybe a crafting.
Warfare lore?
Medicine is...
Oh, wait.
Yeah, warfare lore, if you've got it.
Medicine would probably be the one I would use. I'm also... why do I have a -4 in athletics?
Oh, because you're a bird.
My bird. I was like, what has happened here? I'm a bird. I'm not very strong. Okay, that's fine.
It's a wee bird.
All right. I got a 26 on my medicine check.
Okay. Gerfabon's in the chat says holding Alt will highlight your token for you. All the tokens you have access to.
Ooh.
But okay, 26 on your medicine check. Certainly seems to be a perhaps slashing weapon of some kind. That's your best guess. Probably a slashing weapon sized for large creatures. Definitely not a sword, though. But something long, and perhaps something that would make kind of uneven strikes. It looks like there's a lot of these slash marks.
And they're on the back. That's curious. I guess I can't really listen to them, and I don't want to fly into anyone's tent right now, so I'm going to continue to look around.
Okay. You can certainly land on a tent or near a tent if you wished. But yeah, you can keep looking around.
I guess actually, as I go, I forget which tent it was already.
I think it was this tent here that you're near. Yes, you are near this tent.
I'll like fly around, kind of like the front of it to see if is like the flap open, or they just like go in and shut it.
The flap is open.
I'm gonna do a little bird hop and peek in. I'll land.
A little cheeky peek inside the tent.
Over. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you pop over by the tent and like kind of hop in a little bit and see the two giants that you saw enter. They have both they're standing at full height. They've got their two bags that they were carrying, their sacks they were carrying, have been placed before them, away from you. And they're facing someone who is, or a third giant who is seated inside the tent, and is wearing kind of loose leather robes, and it was a very like stern face. His bald head covered with intricate stone giant tattoos, not the runic tattoos that you've seen on the giants from earlier today, but more standard, like you saw on any of the stone giants in Jorgenfist. The seated stone giant seems to be in thought as the other two whisper in deep tones that you presume to be Jotun. Sounds like Jotun every time you've heard it. You hear one of them. Let me see, what's your perception? Give me another hidden perception check to try and overhear.
There you go.
Okay. You're listening to their conversation, and you distinctly pick out the word Lamia. And at this word, they seem to be saying it with some level of disgust or derision. You also hear the word rune, but not the normal word for rune, the Thessalonian word for rune. Followed by what you think is the giant word for giant. You've heard it enough times by now that's probably what they're saying. So they seem to be talking about rune giants and Lamia a bunch. The one who is seated eventually nods and says something perhaps comforting. You're not sure, and he glances at the door. What is your stealth modifier? Stealth modifier is 22, so that's a 32. Okay.
Just a little bird.
He like catches sight of something in your general direction, kind of leans his head to kind of peek between the two giants that are before him. And kind of leans his head back and starts saying something that you immediately detect as some kind of like spell casting words.
Ew. I am going to leave if I can.
Okay.
I don't like that.
you hop back and start to take off, and you hear in deep common, no, wait, from inside the tent. But you can get up and fly.
Oh no. Oh.
It's up to Asher. Nobody
Asher
else there right now.
Stops and then hops back over.
You see, if you hop back over to the entrance of the tent, you see the giant has stood up fully. The other two who have the scars on their back look perplexed and there's asking the third giant questions in Jotun, but he waves them. He kind of tries to part them and says something in Jotun back to them, and they both immediately quiet. And the giant kneels down and looks at you and says, "Who are you? You're not a bird, are you?"
I don't want to not be a bird right now, because then I can't leave. Asher will hop around on the ground, attempting to spell out his name with his Bird beak.
Giant doesn't know what that means. He's just gonna see a word written in common.
Hop, hop, hop.
Doesn't know what Asher even means in common.
He's speaking in common.
That's true. You might actually read it. It's perhaps.
The giant watches as
He understands.
you hop and I don't know if anybody's seen Junkos, but they do this like little jump and like kick back with their feet, where they're like digging in the sand. So it looks like you're just digging for seed or worms or something, as you're kind of like hopping around. The giant gives you a. He watches this intently. The other two seem confused, but the main one in the robes tries to read it out loud the best he can. Ash. Is this a name of some kind?
Asher nods his bird head.
You can tweet, perhaps?
Tweet. Nod.
Are you an enemy of the Runelord? He just stares at you with
That's a
a
loaded
deep,
question.
stony glaze. Or stony gaze, not glaze. Delicious glazed donut.
A glazed over gaze.
I want a donut now. That
Can I
sounds nice.
sense motive somehow on this?
Sure, yeah, you can sense motive. Perception.
I think he wouldn't. Yeah. Come here, you little. Might end up. Oh, this is good. A 46.
46. He's staring at you very intently. You can tell that he is like worried of being found out. You get the sense that he is checking to see if you're on his side. And his side does not seem to be Karzug's side.
And he asked, "Am I an enemy of the Runelord?" Right.
Yes, that is what he asked.
The good answer to yes, and nod.
You nod your little sparrow head. And he kind of relaxes his posture, but still his face is like, he's got a very just kind of intense, grim look to his face. Then you are new to this city, then. Well, he only says then one time. You can pick which side of that sentence he said that. This is a dangerous place. You shouldn't get mixed up in it.
That's good advice. So, Asher's gonna. Is there like an area kind of in the back of the tent that'd be like farther away from the front?
Yes. Yeah, you could kind of hop
I
to
guess
the opposite
back
side
is
of the
farther
tent.
away from the front.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a
Asher
backside.
hops there, and against like all my as a player's better judgment, turns back into a human, and like dusts himself off and just goes, "Oh, it's really not easy to talk in that form." Like really quietly though. It's getting
You're
messy.
human then. And the giant kind of gives you a polite bow and says, well then, friend. Well met. My name is Gyukak. And I can share his picture
Ooh.
There
with
he
everybody.
is.
Oh, we even got the
Oh, he
spelling
doesn't
right.
look too bad.
That sounded exactly how it sounded.
Oh, I also got a spell right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cack.
Oh.
Cack.
There's only so many ways you can
That is the
spell
name of
GUCAC, but
That's true.
Barbecue restaurant near me.
a barbecue
What's the
restaurant.
name of a barbecue restaurant? Near me?
Yes, the delicious
UCAC.
GUCAC.
Your cock.
Table for two at GUCAC.
They, yeah,
dear.
this is like a Japanese barbecue restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as that happens, let us go jump back to our friends elsewhere. I don't know how to force the map to switch. I can just activate, sure. Okay. Meanwhile, back at home base, I guess the interesting one of the two is Gunn, who is reading, or you've cast Comprehend Languages on yourself as Asher exits the tunnel. And you pop open this leather-bound book, or more likely a leather-bound journal or spell book of some kind, and start to read. Where do you start? Do you start just at the beginning, or do you jump into the middle, or right at the
Very
back?
good place to start.
I'll start at the beginning, but I'm gonna skim a little bit and see if there are major sections
Okay.
that might have different kinds of.
Sure. So you just open immediately to the first page. Then, if you're looking from the beginning, and you see what is a list of names. There are on this very first page. There are a good 60 names. Scribbled out in 2 columns. Each name is written in the same black ink, but some of them are struck through. Others are have like an underline beneath them. Some have small symbols beside them they just seem to be like maybe some kind of symbol.
None of them
They're not
have
specific writing.
descriptions.
Not on this first page, no.
None of them have of the manner in which the person will die.
Not on this first page. It does not seem so.
Okay.
The ink is fairly worn, and this page looks very, very old. It looks like this
Any of those
tome has been
names-
opened many times.
Familiar.
Give me a society check.
Surely will do. Society.
Society,
Yeah,
37.
37.
Okay. So you start turning through some of the pages as you're like scanning over the list of names, turning through the pages as you go. It seems like a lot of the first section or the pages you've started with all seem to be just names upon names upon names. None of these are particularly meaningful to you. Many of them seem to be names that are perhaps from Shough, like they're very not Taldan names. The region then starts to shift. You start with like a big section of Shough names, and then you kind of switch to a section of names that look very Gurundi, and it looks like they're kind of organized by region. And there are at the end of each region, there's a big gap, and you can see that there's the names near the end of each region are probably written in a more recent handwriting. So it looks like whoever owns this is indicating these names, or is like adding names to each section as time goes on. a vast majority of the
That's not crazy,
names
though.
are fully stricken through. But once you get to the Talden section, you do spot, bizarrely, a random name that you do recognize. This one is the name of a person you've heard about in your youth, who was the captain of a very famous mercenary unit about 2,000 years ago, who was murdered in cold blood by his own men the night before a very important battle. And if you're making me come up with a name, that name
We're
is...
staring at you right now.
Names. Why do I have to have names? I don't have my name generator here. Captain William Marshall.
All right.
Right. Fair enough.
Finally, a name I can remember.
Okay. You say Talden. Is Talden...
Talden is the same. They're like the biggest nation of humans. The common language is actually Talden.
Okay. Is it a nation that still exists?
Yes, it is a nation that still exists, and I sure hope, for my sake, that they still existed 1,000 years ago, and I think they did.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
Yes, they've been around for some
Past the
time.
list of names. Are there any other regions?
Yeah, as you're paging through here, just about every region of Galarian is covered, or places that you've seen. You don't recognize all of these like regional variations of names, but whoever's been writing in here, they've certainly been getting around.
Is there a Verizian section?
There is a Verizian section, yes. Or a section that does clearly have some Verizian names in it.
Off the newest page of that, is there anyone that I recognize as being alive in the present day?
Or not alive in the present day?
Or not alive in the present day?
Well, there are 3 names at the very end, inked in fresh black ink. Asher Ford,
Whose name?
Gunn Shough, and Greshy Ironroot.
And who's right before those? Any
Right before those, not a name that you would particularly recognize.
Okay.
If you say the name aloud, Greshy can give me a Magnamar lore check.
Which name?
Sure, if I can distract Greshy for a moment.
I mean, I'm still waiting for this to percolate. Unless you've been reading for more than an hour.
Ah, no. These are all names of, and well, right there is us.
Well, that's pleasant, isn't it?
Yeah. And these our names are not crossed out, is that correct?
Correct. Your names are not crossed out.
I feel like guns should be crossed out,
As
technically.
having been murdered.
Because it happened.
Seems like a murder book.
We just undid it.
Is the cross out like erased?
It was like, I have to do it again.
But no, distinctly it has not been crossed out. It does not look like it has been rewritten. You might actually notice that some of the names are written twice. Like they're crossed out, and then some names later, the name is written a second time, crossed out again.
It seems like a murder book.
It sure does. Very
Or a
prolific.
kissing book.
Someone
Book
who
of
does,
kisses.
yeah, someone who's done a lot of murder over a very long time, more than 1,000 years. And they just leave this out in the open.
It's almost like it was an invitation.
Maybe it belongs to that. Give him
Ganajan?
Gamigan.
All right, perhaps. Was there something you need me for? Or was it just let you know that I was on a list to be murdered?
No, that's pretty much it.
Fair enough. I don't know, it almost makes me feel better to know that somebody cares enough that I should be murdered for it. Is that kind of nice?
Is the whole book just lists of names?
It's just all murder book.
If you jump past all the names towards the back half of the book, there's a bunch of empty pages in the middle, and then the kind of last half, or like the last chunk of the book, is in fact a list of addresses. Or in some cases not addresses, but directions to a landmark, or to various landmarks.
Okay. Is it a similar thing where it's
Yeah, from your
through
previous
it.
society check, you can tell that these are kind of sorted by location.
and is there a series for like Magnamar or Sandpoint?
Yes, there do seem to be a couple of places listed for Magnamar, in a Verizian section. Oh, sorry, sorry, not Magnamar specifically, but Verizia.
Any of those that I'm familiar with?
Let me see. Are you familiar with any of these? One seems to be an address in the town of Galduria, which I believe you passed through at some point. Another is an address within Magnamar in the noble district, one of the noble districts. Actually, pretty close to the mayor's residence.
Is it by any chance the house of the guy we killed, the magistrate?
Ooh.
We then went to his house.
Yeah, did you guys actually go to his
And,
house?
Didn't we sneak in or something?
I can't remember, but no, you don't. This address does not look like it's his house specifically.
Greshy, I think we did actually. Now that you say that, does sound
I think you
familiar that we
did,
got
yeah.
to his place. Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a couple
I
of years.
remember we planned for it at least.
Yeah, I believe you went to his house and found maybe their murder book. I think you found some evidence that he was going to murder the mayor.
Something like that,
Right. Okay.
But yeah, this address looks like it's in the same. It's in the
Yeah,
same
just
district,
talking
but
about
not that same house.
Okay.
The other places you see, there's two different addresses in Riddleport. One in the southern part of the town, one in the northern part of the town. Yeah, those are kind of like the Verizian regions you see. And then, yeah.
Okay.
So it seems like he kind of
Possibly,
operates off the
list of-
coast.
Possibly a list of places this person uses while traveling, properties they own or have friends at.
Or their murder house, perhaps.
Could be
If you have a murder book, it makes sense you'd have a murder house for doing it in.
several.
Apparently. Well, that's a very pleasant book. It's written in what language is that anyway? Did you figure it out? I don't know if he would know even.
I don't think comprehend languages
I did.
tells you what the language is.
Yeah.
I think Asher knew it was infernal.
Oh, that's true. So Asher had
okay.
a pretty strong idea
Yeah.
there.
So I did
Yeah.
say it was infernal.
Okay, so reasonably confirmed. So who would be writing Infernal? And these are a lot of names over a long period of time, you said?
Yes, it seems like at least 1,000 years, but possibly more.
So some sort of devil or demon? Which one writes an Infernal? I don't remember which.
You would know that all of them do. Devils, demons, daemons, with an AE.
I thought some of
Which
them
is-
had different languages, or is Abyssal some other language?
Oh, that's a good question. Do I remember my my demon lore?
See, that's the thing. It's demons versus daemons versus...
I feel like they all use infernal. Oh, they might have actually split. I don't think abyssal is a thing. Oh, well, abyssal is for things of the abyss. That's
From the
it's
Abyss,
not
perhaps?
quite. Yeah,
Okay.
that's for outer gods and whatnot. Weird Cthulhu
fair.
shit. Is abyssal. Infernal is the demons, devils, daemons.
Well, is there some sort of
you can
fiend?
you can give me a religion
does some
check
sort of
if you
hunting.
wish.
Okay. Wouldn't mind that. Blind or...
Blind, please.
Sure. Secret.
29. You
Sure.
are. I didn't have
Actually,
to say
can
that.
I hero point that?
Sure.
If
You
you're just going
point
to
it.
give me the result. I can.
Oh, cool. All right, that's a different number that may or may not be higher or lower than 29. Sorry, I forget that I need to change it. Oh, I can see that it's pink. I should know that. I should memorize that pink roll
secret.
equals secret, and you can't see that. Anyways, thinking about it, it's of all the creature types that would know infernal. It's gotta be a devil. Only a devil would be this organized. You know that devils are the lawful evil creatures of the underworlds. You could only imagine something that lawful keeping any kind of records like this.
Pleasant. So, apparently we have a devil hunting us. Do you think that fellow was a devil?
Could be.
He did throw a trident at us. Seems awful.
A little bit devilish.
Perhaps.
Like in the classic cartoon devil.
I was thinking that, the little drawings they did as a child.
You could do
pitchfork
another
and
religion
horses.
check off of the knowledge of
To try and-
the pitchfork, yeah.
Well, with that, I'd ask Gunn.
The devil's actually.
This is recall
use
knowledge you said,
pitchforks.
actually, so I can use other benefits to this, can't I?
Sure.
I have Robe of Inspiration, too. So let's activate Robe of Inspiration. And we'll do a blind gem roll as I try and figure out with the trident if we can figure out what this is. Some more numbers. I can actually roll that at advantage, and I'm going to do so.
All right.
Because I want to figure out what this is before we go hunting it. I'll use my activation of the robe to make that work.
Okay. Using all of the magical power invested in the robe to boost your mental strength as you sort through your mind at what kind of creature this could be, you get the flash of... I don't think you saw the figure on the roof, but you try to remember what Asher said the figure looked like. You try to remember or you remember this spear trident thing. You kind of put all the clues together in your head, and the image that comes to your mind is one of an ice devil, a Gelugon. Gelugons are basically the strategists and masterminds of hell. They are insectoid. They're pretty big, I believe. They are large creatures. They are immune to cold and fire, weak to good, and resist physical except for silver. And they resist poison as well. But they are very, very tactical, intelligent creatures that have, play their lives out like they were playing chess.
Well,
they're known
like
specifically for using spears and tridents and that sort of thing.
I don't suppose there's like a page at the front where it says this journal belongs to, and then has
no
Gamagen written in.
It does not have any kind of indication of who wrote it.
Property of Gamagen, keep out. If found, return to. Well,
okay.
Possibly an ice devil. Then, if this is some actual sort of demon or fiend or creature of some sort. All right.
An additional detail that's there is that you know that they are wont to agree to contests of intellect. They are very, very proud of their mental skill. And treat such things as games that must be completed.
Interesting.
Do you think we could contact him and trick him into a trap of some kind by proposing a duel? He proposed a duel. We could
Counter.
agree to a time and place or something, and then
I mean, I feel like this is not a bad idea. We would need to make sure we hammer down some details into fine product here, because if we screw this up, it's just going to hurt. But we could try and reason and trick and deceive a devil. I'm sure that'll go over splendid and would never cause any sorts of problems in our future.
there might be ways.
I'm not against it, mind, but I would like to nail down how we're going to trick him. If we're going to trick him.
The secret to tricking people who might be smarter than you, but might also be very proud, is to let them think they're winning. Let them think that they are seeing through your plans and doing. So you add that extra layer, and you need one more layer than that.
So we need like 3 layers of plan going on here.
Yeah, expecting that they figure out the first 2.
I don't know if you get out much. Have you ever seen this old play? What was it called? It was about, like, there were a number of rivers or something, or oceans. There were a bunch of oceans. I don't remember. But it was a big movie about stealing some stuff, and it was very complicated. But they did this dramatic reveal at the end where there were a bunch of layers, and I like the plan. I just have no idea how we arrange that when we're trying to meet with somebody who knows more than we do about the area we're in and the situation that's going on.
Maybe we can come up with something if we
can find out more.
put our minds to it.
Maybe if Asher finds out anything worth our while, we can use that. But I don't know what the Giants would help us out here.
For instance, the simplest thing would be to agree to a duel at some certain place and some certain time, and then just not show up and go about our business. Like, waste his time.
I mean, that would be simple, but then he's just going to chase us down.
Sure. Then he's coming to us.
How is that better? He almost stabbed somebody in the head with a trident just a few hours ago.
I suppose that's true. But he didn't. He seems to feel the need to make it an honorable combat of some kind.
Doesn't everyone? I get that. Well, if we can figure out a good way to, maybe whatever contest we get him to agree to is something we can actually win? Because he said a duel, but it doesn't have to be a battle, does it?
Not sure yet. Let me think about this.
If we're the challenged ones, don't we get to decide the rules to some degree? Or at least the weapons?
That is true. In many cultures and yeah, let's think about it.
Ponder that a bit. I'll go back to staring at,
Well, you hear a ding
chest, I
from the chest, indicating that it's done.
Good. Perfect. Open it up and just a pile of, I suppose, sparkling material that is useful for enchanting. Enchanting dust. Fantastic.
Yeah, some liquid reagents to help transfer the runes onto the runestones.
All right.
All right.
Here's the
You've got your
question.
materials ready.
What's the item level on these runes, though? Where are you?
On which the Sihedron runes. Sihedron rune. Regular
14.
rune is 8. Greater is 14. And
Okay,
I don't think
can
anyone
I
has a major.
figure out
currently.
a regular from a greater?
Sorry, which are you trying to do? Are you just trying to?
Oh, we have regular, don't we? We have the amulet, and that's a regular, not a greater. I'm looking at mine. Mine's a greater.
We might
yeah.
have let one of them go at some point.
We had an extra amulet, I think, that we got rid of.
I think
Yes, I believe you dumped one.
I think the ones we have right now might be all graders.
I don't.
Was
think
Asher's
that's
amulet a
right.
greater, or was his a regular?
The one that we let go was a regular. Asher's is the only one that I'm not sure of. We got the
Mine was
one-
regular.
We got one from Nualia. We got one
That would
from
have been a regular.
Mokmirian, I think. We got
I think Zanisha had one.
We got the. Who did we get the runes from?
Oh boy.
Were
Off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Or were they later? Those came from the Runeforge, didn't they?
Ooh. I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me. Well, what items do you actually have currently? Oh, Asher, did you just fully drop the item that you had?
Yeah.
We have 2 armors with greater runes. We have an Asher's
So I
amulet,
don't have it. I just realized I dropped it
We
from
have
my
Asher's
sheet and I
amulet,
never get it back.
which I don't recall which one it was, and we have Phelan's amulet, which was the one we got from
That was the cave.
the ice dragon.
Right. No, it was
Oh,
in the
the-
cave. It was on a statue. It was just before you died. It was the same cave before you died. We found
Oh,
that
that
statue
was-
at the entrance, and there was a giant amulet on that we took off and gave it to Phelan.
That was before.
It could be his. Could be a regular.
No, that
I think his
No,
might be
I
the
think
regular.
I thought Phelan's was newer than that. I
That's
thought
where
Phelan's was the one that we picked up from the dragon because we killed the dragon.
No,
at the Runeforge.
Oh.
No, not that. He had his way before that. He's had his for a while.
What dragon did we kill at the entrance?
That was near. Oh, there was a dragon that you killed near. Oh, well, you didn't kill the dragon. It escaped.
I fought.
That was.
Yeah, like
Oh,
the green
but
horn.
didn't it, but we cut
Razor
off.
horn
we,
escaped.
Yeah,
but we cut
Razorhorn
the-
escaped. You
we cut
you
the
killed a
amulet
red
off, yeah.
dragon.
Yes,
You
we
killed
did
a
cut
red
the amulet off.
dragon earlier.
But it
Yes, we
had
We did cut the
had
amulet
to.
off. Adam is correct. We did cut the amulet off of him. We left it because nobody needed it.
Yes, I believe that is correct.
Oh,
The one that Phelan got was from a statue outside Mokmirian's lair. This was not Mark Mirian, Marl Breakbone's lair, which was at the end of the arc with
book 3 or book 4.
Yeah, that was book 3 at around Fort Rannoch. That was the giant-sized one, which I think should be a regular one.
Okay, I forgot about that.
Was there one in
Great.
the Rune Forge at some point?
So Phelan has never had that in his inventory.
I thought I put it on him. Did I not? Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Which is fine, but also it's not in his inventory. But that's also
I put it in his inventory. It's a regular.
Perfect. We're getting rid of it.
I suppose that I thought that he was wearing.
Okay, Capricorn Cross confirms the Wally and Zanisha were 2 of them.
So we've at least gotten rid of. We've sold one of them at some point. At least, I think.
Yes,
I
do believe so. In any case, that one, at the very least, is a regular, and I'm going to say the other 2... Sorry, you have one Sihedron medallion. Asher, yours is a greater Sihedron medallion, which I can throw on your character sheet.
The runes in greater, so...
Correct.
Yes. Anyone who had a rune had it in greater. But I'm going to...
3 graders and 1 regular, then.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. If not, they've retroactively upgraded somehow. I don't know. Okay. Bookkeeping.
It should be a DC 45 for me to break down the greater, by the way.
3 points.
That's what I've got him for.
Thought I was being good by completely getting rid of it. I was like, it's gone. I've done it.
It's boomerang back into your hand.
Dropped, but
it'll never leave.
Oh, shucks. All right. Well, all that sorted. I'm going to break down Phelan's giant Sihedron medallion and see if I can make we're going to start with a regular fortification rune. Or not fortification rune, resilience rune.
Okay.
And see if we can make that out of this. If
trying to reverse engineer it.
In theory, if I were to want to take out other elements, would I have to do those as separate checks or entirely separate pieces? Like, would I have to use a different? Could I also get false life out to this, or do I need to actually use it?
No, you'd have to use it as a separate thing. So the Sihedron medallions themselves all have, for the audience's sake, all have a gentle repose effect while worn. As well as a false life effect that you could use as an action that the party never uses. Or is it 2 actions? I think you can cast a spell, so it's the 2 actions to cast false life on yourself. But
which we never use.
If you're trying to reverse engineer this, you basically pick either the false life plus gentle repose effect to turn into a property rune, or you can choose to extract the knowledge of a resilient rune and invent that instead.
We're going to do the resilience rune then. We'll start with that.
Okay.
So that we'll take an hour to do that. So we're going to increase the DC to, I believe it was 37 is what this should make it.
Okay. Sounds right to me.
Because it is a level 8 rune at this level. So that is going to be a crafting check.
Let me double check. For a level 8 item. And we said it is rare. So it's 24
it's rare,
by default.
But not unique.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that is right. Okay, go ahead and roll.
Let's see what happens.
Ooh.
I don't know. How do you think? What do you think about that one? Do you think I took that apart? Wait,
that is a natural 20.
Are you sure?
I am absolutely sure. But you can only get one.
In fact, if you would like to know, do you know what happens when I critically succeed when I'm reverse engineering an item?
I do know.
As a scrounger.
Oh, is there something else as a scrounger?
Extract it. I actually get to extract it without damaging the original item.
Oh, yes, that is what I was expecting.
Yes. And I'm yet still able to extract this all by itself. It's kind of nice.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to both figure out a formula and get that written down over the course of this hour, but also reassemble the Sihedron rune medallion without damaging it.
Well, that's quite convenient.
So you now have
Let's do
the
it again, I
formula
suppose.
for a basic resilient rune.
All right.
My God, it's historical.
Do I want
First of its
to?
kind.
I don't know if I want to get the property rune right now, so I'm gonna worry about getting. We're just gonna start transferring runes off of gear to start with. So let's get guns off and Greshy's off of our armors so that we don't have to worry about those, and we can put our armor back on.
Okay.
So that'll be another couple hours to do that. I think the check should be a lot easier on this one, but we'll find out. Buttons and buttons. So for a 48 and a 43, and what should be, I believe, a DC 24, or even if we bumped it up to a DC 32, I think I'm still doing all right.
No, I think once you've made it, it is effectively the common item. So yeah.
Well, we're
the
just
DC
transferring
24,
at this
so-
point. We're not making it, so it's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward.
So both these transfers
Yeah.
are critical successes. I don't think there's anything special for a critical success.
No,
on a
not for
transfer.
transferring.
Okay. So you're able to. That's putting on a.
I'm
resilient
transferring
rune on
the
each of them?
runes off. No, I'm
you're-
transferring them off
Ah.
of the Sihedron runes off onto rune stones. We will have to put different runes on those when we get to them, but right now, no longer we can wear our armor and not be spied upon.
Okay, so that would be for the,
So,
the
go ahead.
graders then, which are DC or which are item level 14, right? So those are DC 32. So
Yes.
those are both successes still. So you're good. You're good.
Right.
You're
So-
able to
But
extract
those are just transferred
two.
off. I still have to break those
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah, you've now got two
So-
rune stones, each with the Sihedron rune and all its power etched into them, and they glow a bright yellow or golden color.
All right. Well, this is where it gets a bit wonky because taking this one apart is going to be a bit difficult. But we'll give it a try. I'm going to throw all my points at it as I continue working on this.
Okay,
And
so you're going to
we'll
put 9
see.
points into attempting to take apart one of these greater Sihedron rune.
There it is. That's fine. That's a natural one with 9 points brings that to a total of 40. But I believe this.
It's still
So-
a natural one.
Well, I was going to, but the
That's-
question
that's true.
is it a critical success or just, or excuse me, a critical failure or just a regular failure?
Let's see.
Because I
So
think if you are we treating
If it
resilience
was
as
a
common now,
success.
or are we treating each level?
this is to take it apart. It would still be this would still
This
be
is
considered
specifically the
rare.
greater.
So
Okay, so
the
then this is a
42
failure.
is
Then that
32
makes it a
plus
failure.
5, which is 37. 31 plus 9 would be a success, which would make it a failure. Right?
So
So
Which
yes, it is.
doesn't lose
it's
me
a
much.
regular failure.
I just have the materials,
Oh,
so I can make another rune out of what I've got, but I can't figure it out of this. So I'll have to use the other rune to figure it out.
Chat is
But
refilling
that's
your
also
points.
been,
1, 2, 3,
like-
4, 5, 6.
Oh, well, thank you, but that's also been a number of hours at this point. I don't know if you want to check in on Asher, since Greshy's been working pretty hard.
Yes,
Where's
that's,
Four
that
that's
for
true.
next time?
Yeah, I think
It has
we're
been
gonna
4 hours at this point that
yes.
Greshy's been going.
Okay, well, so with that, as you fail your first attempt to reverse engineer this rune, I think we will go ahead and leave the party. While meanwhile, mysterious things are happening to Asher at the camp that hopefully take
Ooh.
enough time. Maybe he's returned in this time. Who knows? We'll find out next
We'll
week.
find out.
Oh, whoops! I hit the end button. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Store up all of your anticipation, and then you can release in a beautiful explosion. Go into your chrysalis pods and emerge beautiful butterflies. Goodbye.